one more person. We have one additional participant. Yeah. One more. Yeah.
We fit a lot of people in that little.
We do. We've gotten pretty good at it, you know.
Okay, Seiji's gonna read this. And it might be easier from you from this.
I can just.
Okay, good. Let's do it that way.
Dila chene kasanka shik ne lochongi petrima shiklandu tsuki sho loka patpo chindu pe chepain namnem tu topa chekyang trima namla ni katmin kyana sok yung duk parma se.
Okay, good. Oh, we did this part last time, but I'm just going to review it. Dila Trine means,
Tries an extension of what he was talking about.
yeah, continuing on from where we were. Tre means continuing on. It's related to Troa, which means to shine out. Or joy is sometimes called Troa. So here it means, and in the Vajragini side, there are lots of tripa of light rays. Kasang means yesterday. Gashig name means some of the students in this class had a lojong ki pe chima.
Book teaching on the question and answer book teaching on.
They had a handwritten copy. Okay, chima means handwritten copy of this lojong. Okay, if some people came up to me between the classes and said, we have a copy, a handwritten copy of this manuscript, okay, chima, shigla duk, they had one, and they noticed that there was an extra verse, shloka sakpo, shik, in that handwritten copy, which was chepa in our copy, which was missing in our copy, and they had a tokpa.
Suspicion.
Yeah, so they had a doubt about it. You know, should we add that verse or not? You know, they asked me, Nyamdu. They had that question in their mind. Nam is a question mark, right? Nam. You know, is there a problem with the text that you're using, Lama, or how come there's an extra verse in this other handwritten copy? And he said, Chima namla takpa mayin.
The handwritten copy is.
You can't trust handwritten copies. They are not necessarily accurate. Takpa. Tak. Shudatang means an editor. A dakpa is called a person who cleans up a manuscript, okay? I was a Shudatangken for 20 years for the monastery. Shudak. Z-H-U-S.
Shloka, is that spelled right? Like shloka?
It's not spelled right, but it's a Tibetan pronunciation. It should be shloka. Shloka, okay. Kyang natso yong dupa mase. Look, you're going to see all kinds of handwritten copies. Don't worry about it. Follow mine. Okay. Mase. Not only that, now let's go to the next part.
Daranki narla marsu katsu data Yupe chubu chokchi arma indike tenne supa yimpe shupa yimpe ta rekyang di ka rangla chenge ki su kyu yinsu shu yu yinsu sung.
Good. Ta ranki nga lama shukap.
Nowadays, guys like us.
This particular copy, when I was learning this from my own lama in the past, okay, shu means request a teaching, right? When I was taking this same teaching from my lama in the past, we did it from the Purbuchok is a famous lama. We did it from Parma means addition. Okay, we did it from this same Dikha edition of Purbuchok that we have now here. Okay, so when I took this teaching from my Lama, we used the Purbachok edition. And Shubha means I'm teaching it to you from this edition. Tare kyang dikarangne chane. Chane means cha shakpa, means let's take this one as the standard. Okay, let's take this text from which I learned it and which I'm teaching you, the Purbachok edition. Let's take this as authoritative. Okay, in Shugyu Yin, he's kind of politely saying, shut up about it already. Shugyu Yin means, I request of you to just go along with the copy I have, okay? It kind of means, chill out and just follow the one I have, okay? All right. This seems a little hot, I don't know. Okay, or turn down the trouble. I don't know if there's such a setting. Tsawa. Tsawa means he always announces that he's going back to the root text, okay? He always announces when he's going back to the root text. Here we go. Go ahead. Okay, good. What's that last line, Seiji? Lengen senjarang koyim.
And the wheel of Nats has turned on me again.
Okay. Now that we're on the subject of bad manuscripts, okay. The manuscript I always used said Pechong here, and it didn't say Parcha at all. Parcha is easier. Pechong is possible. Pechong is a kind of illness. But our author chose, so right away he can say, look, I just told you, follow mine. Okay, so Parcha means what?
Obstacles.
Yeah, obstacles. Ne. Sickness. And Muchu means dropsy in English, or there's another word. Edema. Abnormal increase of water in an organ or other part of the body. Okay. That's called muchu. Ngembe say, okay, when you get this bad swelling of your organs, for example, or, the other version that I used when I translated this was chen, which means tumor. But he's already just announced to us that he prefers that we follow his. So we'll have to correct the English translation to fit his text. So, which means when I get illnesses, when I get obstacles, such as edema or swollen organs or whatever, chimekola barme bakba yi. Bakba here means how did you distribute gifts that were made to the monastery for the monks, okay? Like they offered food or butter or tea or, okay, bakba means, kor, this spelling of kor means resources of the monastery, okay? It could be cash, it could be, it's things that sponsors come to the monastery to sponsor a prayer. And they offer tea or butter or salt or whatever, and everyone's supposed to get a share. So the stuff they bring is called kor. So it does not have meanings of circle or round or anything like that. It means the resources of the monastery that are meant to be shared, okay? Then you did pagme. You were careless in how you divided it up. Some people got more, some people got less. You didn't do it on time. Okay, and then in this manuscript, there's a modifier on that monastic resources called time, which kind of means illegal, okay? Not done in accordance with monastic law. Okay, so chim means law, okay? Like Chim Lowenhout. Okay. So I distributed the resources of the monastery sloppily. Bakme kind of means not evil. It wasn't evil intent, but I didn't do a very good job. And that core in the first place was somehow illegal. And we're going to get a commentary. Okay, so here's our commentary. Okay.
Shewar
Parcha Shepani.
Parcha Shepani. Ne Maimpe Ngepe 1 2 Part 2 Chokpa Shepe Tun Yin Chin Sheyang Rangchek Nam Chu Chepa Sokla 1 Part 2 Chokpe Ne Chitang Muchu Ni Chongne Sapoche Data Chichu Nang Chu Soksu Chakpandi Date.
Okay, good. Parcha Shepani, the word parcha, right, that starts out this verse, parcha, refers to obstacles, parcha chipa, caused by harms, which are not necessarily sickness. So he wants to treat the first word separately from the rest of the verse. When you get obstacles, comma, okay, when you get obstacles, and then shenyang, the rest can also mean rangchagnam, us guises, chus chepa la parta chipa. Obstacles to practicing Dharma here in the monastery. We get ne. We get generally different kinds of sickness, and more specifically, maybe you get muchu. Yeah, which is a drastic. Sapoche means drastic, like very serious. Okay, hits you very hard. Chongne. So here's the word chong, which he wanted to change to ch, but now he's using it. But I think he's playing with those guys in the audience who were trying to show him new manuscripts. You know, he's like, yeah, I know it says chong, and okay, if you want me to get a chong in there, I will. But it's really ch, it's really obstacle, okay? But chongne means some kind of infectious disease, okay? Chakpa means, we had it in the last class. What was it? Do you remember?
Spoken about?
Yeah, what people call. What was it in the last class?
Oh, it was.
Talking about the calms and
What people call is contradictory to.
Yeah, convention. But it was.
I don't remember. Okay, short lifespan. It's what nowadays we call chicha and nungchu. Outer water and inner water. So maybe it's in two different parts of the abdomen or something. Like maybe water in the abdominal cavity and then water inside of an organ. Okay. Okay, go. By the way, I'm going to drop this down, which is a way to make it all stand together. Okay.
De tabui neki na wetse, deni ranki kiewa noma nansu chim, mek horla ap metu bak pate, teyang chime ki horla pakpa tang, pakme ki pakpa ni lang ki pa yute.
Okay, good. Detabineki now I'd say, when you're sick with this kind of diseases, okay, this is in your kewanguma,
Last life.
yeah, in your previous lives, I distributed or, you know, what do you call it, distributed the resources of the Sangha in a careless way, and those resources themselves were somehow sullied, were somehow illegal. Something wrong with them, okay? Then he says, I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that there's a distinction here. One is Chimeki Kor, La Bakpa, and
Solid offering.
he did an instrumental here. So one is to divide up the resources illegally. Now he's changed it, okay? And the other is to divide the resources sloppily or not mindfully. So he wants to say there's a distinction. Okay, first is dividing up the resources illegally. And the second one is dividing them up sloppily, okay, carelessly. 개발력.
Oh, those are distinctions.
Yeah, there's a difference between these two, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Yete. Okay, what is the... And here we go.
Persona.
Excuse me, so what's the distinction he's about to draw?
The distinction between dividing them up illegally or dividing them up carelessly.
Good, yeah, illegally and carelessly.
Persona chasa sok suang cha krikashik rangni la pampa soki kyunki kona chime yim tegenjun ginge ang ja sokola pate serangni chime tu shepe jikpa tangche pe gona gone patne chime ki pakpa yin kyang wat me ki pakpa la.
Okay, persona means, for example, it's just the same as perna, okay? For example, trasa means monastery. It means fenced place, wall, place with a wall, trasa. And monks are called chaba, which means person who stays inside the wall, okay? So we don't say gelong or gendun, or we just say jaba, okay? Soksawang, in the monastery, Chajik, Gashik, there's certain, it means monks, yeah, types of monks. There are certain types of monks among us who they're aware that Rangnila Pamba,
That they committed a downfall.
they broke a number one level vow, which means your vows are broken. Your vows are pretty much destroyed. First level vow, okay? Like having sex or something like that, okay? Lying about your spiritual attainments, stealing something of high value, okay? Rangnila Pambasoki Kinki Kuna, because they have been infected, this Ku means infected. Ku can also mean clothing. But here it means infected or, polluted. Therefore, they are timid.
Lawless.
Yeah, so the monks are lawless, okay? Like there are monks among us who know they've broken their most serious vows, and we can call them unlawful, okay? So the people are unlawful, not the offerings, okay? Yin me. Me means admittedly there are people like that. And when they, by them, Ge means share of a sponsor's offering. So if the sponsor brought $500 and there's 500 monks, they should each get $1. And that dollar is called a ge. And it means a share. You're supposed to get an equal share of what the sponsor dropped off at the monastery, okay? So ge mang means offering, share. And it typically in a Tibetan monastery, it might be cha.
Split, like,
Tea. What do you call it? Tea leaves. Each monk will get a handful of tea leaves. Okay, cha sok. That's core. It could be butter. It could be tea. It could be sheep intestines. Okay, but that core, that resources that are shared, la bakbetse, when they divide them up. Okay. Rangni chim medu shepe. You can be aware that you are a monk who's broken his vows. You can say, I have broken my vows and I'm getting tea from the sponsor. Okay, you can think that. Shepe jikpadan shepe, and you can even be a little nervous about it. Okay. And they say, by the way, traditionally that it will be difficult for that monk to digest those things. something happens to the offerings, maybe they'll get a gallbladder problem or something. Jibana chebe gone, bakna. So if you participate in the distribution, but with an awareness that you are not a perfect monk, okay? Chimme bakba yinkyang. We can say that distribution has been done by someone who broke the law, but it's not careless. They're aware. Even as they take it, they're aware. So there's a difference between being unaware and distributing stuff and being broken vows and distributing this stuff. And he gives the example of a monk who knows he broke his vows, and he's keeping that in mind as he's trying to be more careful in taking the sponsors' gifts. Okay, so he's not unaware, but he's also impure. Impure, but not unaware. Aware that he's impure? Okay, so he's drawn the distinction between the two. Okay, all right.
Rani trime naang ta tung yimi nyam par sa tung o yin nyam pe gone long chöna pak ne ki gone kyang pak pa yin pe te nam kyang shepar se ne.
Somebody take a shot. It's a next logical thought. It's another mu. It's another possibility.
You don't realize that you're lawless, but you're careful.
No, both lawless and
Yeah, words got it. Say it again.
both you are lawless and you weren't careful.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I broke my vows, and who gives a, I can take my share. I don't care. Okay, so he's careless and immoral. Okay, so there's also this possibility. So rangni chimenang, even given that you have broken your vows, okay. Dadung, chiminyam. Chiminyam is an idiom, okay. If you want to learn a new idiom, the human computer probably does. Chiminyam means what the heck. It means who cares. Chiminyam means you're like, I don't care. So who cares? Chiminyam means I don't care. So even though you did break your vows, when it comes to getting your share, you think, I don't care. Sa upa, tung upa.
I'll eat it, I'll drink it.
Yeah, I'm good enough to eat this stuff. I'm good enough to drink this stuff. This upa is arh, right, in Sanskrit.
Worthy.
Arhat, right? Arh. I'm okay. I'm good enough to drink this stuff. I'm good enough to eat this stuff, okay? Apostrophe OS. Okay, this So he repeats it for drinking and eating. Sa means I can eat this stuff. Tung means I can drink this stuff. Yin nyamba, you think to yourself, gone long chuna, if you partake of those offerings in this manner, you are pak me, and you're also chimme. Okay, you are being unmindful, and you're also being immoral. Okay, shepat ze means you guys should understand these distinctions. Okay, it's the Lama giving advice to the monks. If you're not a good monk, at least admit it before you bite that hamburger. Okay, and then it will be a little more safe for you. Okay, at least be aware that you're not a perfect monk, and then go ahead. It's okay. You can take the stuff, but just be aware. Okay. And if you do get sick, it's because Detar.
Mbappe lengen ki songcha rangla korwar samne tonglen kompatang.
Yeah, the wheel of knives, the crown of knives, of bad karma, lengen, of detar bakpa, being involved with distribution of offerings like that, okay, in those different ways, has come back to me, has come around. Samne, and to fix it, you should do tonglen. Do you remember exactly what tonglen?
The one where you visualize
your lama.
lama on your head
And then,
Then
and
you
have them in front of you.
who do you do the Tonglen on? I don't remember.
on the people's present and future. Oh,
Same kind of people are having same kind of problems.
I mean, I guess it's probably that, but I don't quite remember. We'd have to go back to the first one. You wanna?
Yeah, go check. 'Cause we had it last time. We had a question.
Let's go to the first Tonglen. It's easy to do, right? He doesn't really say.
Yeah, there's a appendix, right? So-
yeah, but he said you do Tonglen, but he explained how, but not to. I mean, I guess on.
We discussed it last term.
We did. That's a.
But we didn't check.
Yeah, here's about the nostrils and everything. Oh, okay. All your own happiness you give away in white light. And you give it to all beings.
All beings.
And then there must be some taking it in. He didn't explain it. Okay. Give away your happiness to others. All right.
Angela,
Mhm.
didn't this talk about a monk who has broken a serious vow and is really technically no longer a monk?
That's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
who cares if you're minus or not?
Well, I guess there's some saving grace if he reflects on that fact, right?
But why would there be an abbot who says, don't worry, still partake? I mean, shouldn't that abbot be saying, bye? You know?
Probably.
Well, it's a good question, but it seems like, at first it seemed like it was saying if you distributed it wrong, but then the way the Lama described it, it made it sound like he was talking about if you're partaking of it wrong.
Yeah.
Not like if you're the one distributing it.
He seems to go back and forth between those two. Okay, go ahead. Oh, so it says, so here's his final decision, right? There's always a resolution. Dani?
Tani ko chukla sopang warche cha.
Translate, somebody.
From here on out, I will distribute better. I'll stop doing things like,
What's chok?
I'm guessing it means distributing carelessly.
Chok means to steal. There's two kinds of steal. One is chok, one is kua. What's the difference?
Oh yeah, isn't one robbing and one is stealing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When you go in someone's house and just slip some money in your pocket, it's called kua. Stealing, and then chok means robbing. So I'm robbing the sangha. Okay, I will not rob the sangha anymore. Okay, so now suddenly, mindlessly, or with bad deeds in your heart, partaking of the sangha's resources is called robbing. It got more serious. Okay, all right, go ahead.
She ko choksu ni kongtu shepe chime ki korla pakpa teyang mi oshin tu chupana chokpa yinna shenyang lama tanke dun gendun ki kor choksu shintu mang be Mangwe da ta chinche te tak nam tu yang pang warchet ge pedong ying sun.
Yeah, your pronunciation's getting better. I think Sugang is spreading. Okay, here we go. She Korchotsuni, how is it that you rob the Sangha of their resources? Okay. Kongdu Shepa, as I just explained, Chimeki, a person who has broken their vows, Korla Bakpa, if they are involved in the distribution of the monks' resources, if they are not worthy, Miya, this Shindu is the present participleizer. Even as they are not worthy, they still partake. Okay? Even though they are not worthy, they still partake. That's what I call chok. That's robbing the sangha. Okay. Moreover, Shenyang, there's chok tools. There's many ways of robbing the possessions of your teacher and of your community. There's thousands of ways to rob your teacher and your community. Shintu mawa.
Many more.
You can't even count them. So the point is, Dunyin, that we must give up all of those all the time. Namdiyang, ever, never. Should we chinche from now on, should we be doing those things? Okay, be careful around the possessions of the Sangha community, the Dharma community, and your teacher. Okay, don't damage their possessions. Okay, and he doesn't even list them. He just said there's a million ways to steal from the community. Okay, Sawa is his announcement that we are going on to another subject. Okay, it's root tags. Okay, go ahead. Who's got the plane? You Kramer? Okay.
Lobungo.
Lobor.
Gone lu la tepetse. Hansi nyam pe chawa chepayi. Leng tsung chang charang la korwayin.
Yeah, Lobordo?
Adventitiously.
Yeah, that's in the study of the Dharmakaya. There's parts of you which are perfected, Lobordo, over time. And there's parts of you which have always been perfect, with Tathagata Garbha. But this Lobor means suddenly. And it's a very common colloquial expression in the monastery. You say Lobordo. It happened all of a sudden. We weren't expecting it, and then suddenly the roof fell down or something. Lobordo. Go here, this spelling of go means infectious. Okay, can spread by infection, like smallpox or measles or something like that. Okay. Gone. Tap means to strike. Okay, so what's it mean?
All of a sudden, some horrible disease strikes you out of nowhere.
Yeah, catchy disease strikes you. Okay, when that happens, tamsing nyamba.
Remember these words?
No, your pledges.
Oh yeah,
You've degenerated.
Yeah, your pledges have degenerated, and you did things, chawache. You did things which caused you to break your own vows and your pledges. Okay, tamsing. Okay. Notice the word for pledge here because it's going to be important in a few minutes. Okay, damtik, samaya in Sanskrit. Okay, your pledges. Usually tantric pleasures or something like that. Okay, damtik. Okay. Langen Sinjarang the Korean. The crown of knights has circled back. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Shirangla lo rangchat la lo purtune chatpo chitang nang sen san gowe nepsepa la sopalu la tepetse.
Okay, rangchak means us guys. When we get some ne takpo. Yeah, fierce. This is like shige wang tak, right? 4 modes. Tak means fierce. Okay, like some very sudden and fierce disease. In general, qi strikes us, but more specifically, nang sen means among those. Nang sen means member of a group. So among all those diseases, let's just focus on sepa means fevers, where your body gets hot. In the sense of fevers which are catchy, goa, that you catch from other people. Okay, goe ne sepa means fevers that you catch from other people. Lula tepetse, when they strike your body. Okay, go ahead. Kore.
Kore che teni ranki senki tang kewa ngoma namsu tam siknyam pe cha wa che pelengen ki songcha rang la korwa yin tuk nyam tu sam Samkute.
Good. Your pronunciation's getting better. Koreche, this is some kind of yulke, say yulke, local dialect. And I don't know it, but studying it, I would say it means, crack it open. It means crack this nut. Figure out what's going on. Try to figure out what's going on. Koreche. Try to see what's really happening inside of all this, okay? Teni, what's really going on when you get a sudden disease? In this life and in my previous lives, my damsiknyam. Yeah, my pledges were broken. I broke my pledges. Chawachepe lengen, I did bad deeds where I broke my pledges, okay? And that crown of knives is circling back to me. You gotta sum that way. Yeah, you gotta think like that, okay? He's gonna define damtik here, okay? So usually it means tantric pledge or something like that, but here he's gonna define it, okay? So go ahead.
Sikla ni ne par dorje chi war shakpatang na chupata bu shikmi good.
So he's talking about ways to take a vow. Like in the West we have blood. You cut yourself, your friend cuts yourself, you mix the blood. And yeah, that's like a special bond or something. So there's different ways to do that in Tibet, okay? So Di Kapski Damtik, when we talk about pledges here in this poem, Ngepar Miga, go to the end. I'm not talking about necessarily that someone has taken their vajra and put it on the top of your head and say, swear, now swear. Swear to keep this. This is an old way to take a promise. The Lama puts the vajra on your head and says, okay, swear that you're always going to do this, okay? That's called Dorje Chiwo Shak. Chiwo means this part of the head. So it's not like, I don't mean pledge in the sense that the Lama put a vajra on your head and said swear, or Nachu Lu. Nachu means, it's like the blood in the blood brother ceremony, but it's a water. So you both drink out of the same cup and you both spit at the same time, and that means you swear. Okay, it's like a blood brother thing. Okay, so Nacha Lu means swear. You drink from the same cup and you swear. Okay, and he says Lupa Tabushik Miga. I'm not saying it has to be like that. I'm not saying some lama put their vajra on your head and said swear. And I'm not saying the lama gave you the tequila and you took the tequila and you both spit it out and you're both going to... I'm not talking about, that's not swear here, okay? That's not what I mean by swear, okay? There's some... Okay, go ahead. Okay, Kang Suwa.
Kangsu war cha wat te ni tampar chuna sungna lekpatang ma chungna sungna miawe me when it has an S, make it longer. Me sik par chepa la tam chik tu chepa chepe Kenyin la sopa lang tam chik yu ching. Okay, now it's kind of sexy, and if you weren't sensitive, you would miss it. But he's going to give a pseudo literal breakdown of dam sik. He uses the word dam, and then he uses the word sik. And if you weren't sensitive, you would miss it. Okay, he says, when I say pledge, which in Tibetan is damtik, in Sanskrit is samaya. When I say damtik, here's what I mean, which is the Tibetan translation of samaya, which is vow, okay, or commitment. Is there some way to unplug this for the duration of the class? Okay. All right. Kansung Jawa, the thing you must keep. Here, sungwa means protect, but it means vow. With a vow, it means keep a vow. So, Kansung Jawa, Geini, that thing which you committed to keep, Tambarsung, keep it
Pure?
tightly. Tambar, keep it tightly. And that would be good thing. Lekpa, lekso. Okay, so it would be good if the thing you promised to keep, you kept it tambar, which means tightly. Okay, tightly. So he's got half of the word so far. Tamtik means pledge, right? So he says tam by itself means tight. Okay, keep it tightly. And masungna, if you don't keep it, you're gonna be sick by the may of the nyawa,
You're gonna be burning in the hells.
by the fire. The fire of the hells is gonna burn you. And that word in Tibetan, coincidentally, and no connection to tamtik, is to burn. Okay, like it's sig. Sig means to burn. Okay, so when you say siksha, the veggie burger got burned. It's a siksha. It got burned. Okay, sikpa in your mental functions means resentment, to hold, to burn like a fuse, right? Okay. You said shavings of wood. Burn fast and hot, and then coal burns. Yeah, that's something else he pulled out of a Chinese commentary. I thought that was cool. So anyway, that thing which you promised to keep tightly, tam, and if you don't keep it, you're going to be burned, sick in the house, is a tam thing. Okay, so tight burn. So good luck translating that sentence. You know, you're going to have to play with it. He's saying damzik means tight burn. Okay. Damzik to chepe. Therefore, even we don't have to say that damziks are high tantric commitments. A person who takes a lifetime layman's vow, Genyin, Genyin means the lowest vow, right? Who just agrees to keep those 5 vows for their whole life. That's also a damzik according to this definition. Keep it tight, and if you don't, you go burn. Tight or burn. Okay, so he said from that point of view, the damzik mentioned in this verse could apply to all of us. It's not just high tantric vows. It's any commitment that you make from the 5 lay people's commitments. Okay, got it? So that's kind of a cool little detour. Here we go. Go ahead.
Torna Franki Kitar Kelang Pa Teni Kelen Pa Te Ni Tampar Chung
Sung.
Sung Gopa Yimpa La Detarma Sumpa Tang Hakpar Tu Lama La Tamsik Nyampe Lengeng Rangla Korwa Samne Tonglen Gompatang.
Okay, Dorna. To put it briefly, Rangijitar Kelamba, as you have already promised to do. Okay, Deni Dambarsung, you have to stick to that very thing tightly. Gupa, you have to. And if you fail to keep it, Deta Masuma, okay, and most especially, Lakbar means especially, if you nyamba in your damsiks to your lama.
If you degenerate to your promise.
Yeah, those are much more serious. So promises you made to your own teacher, those are the strictest damsik of all. That kind of bad karma, lengen, rangla korwa yin, it's come back to me. These are reasons for infectious diseases, right? Sudden, terrible diseases. Is what he's saying here is you broke any commitment, even those low lay people commitments, and most especially you probably broke some kind of commitment you made to your teacher, okay? And that's why you get these sudden illnesses and stuff. Okay, cool? And how are you going to fix it? Tonglen Gomba. Go back to Tonglen. Go back to Tonglen. Do your Tonglen. Now here comes the resolution. Okay, usually there's a problem, a cause, a statement that the wheel has come back, and then there's a commitment.
Tani Miguele Nampak Pangwarcha.
Oh,
Which is?
gonna stop doing bad karma.
What's the Dani?
Now.
Yeah, now, from now on, I will never do a bad thing. That seems kind of optimistic.
Unlikely.
By the way, he himself talks about that. It's coming up. It's just these resolutions like, oh, now I'll never do a bad thing ever. Maybe we need to work on that. He also noticed it. You know, he's going to talk about it. Okay, here we go. Go ahead.
Shechinche Miguewe Lechi Tankia Kya Partu Yang Tam Sik Nyam Kur Ki Gur Ki Ki Lenem Yong Lenam Yongsu Par Pang Par
Bangwar.
Pangwar Chara.
Yeah, so Chinche, we had it in somebody else's text. From now on, yeah, Chinche, from now on, general bad karma, Migewe Lechi, and most especially my
Degenerating from my place.
pledges. Now he's going back to kind of a high meaning of pledges. Where my pledges degenerate, I will give up that kind of actions. I will stop doing those kinds of actions. Okay.
Is Youngsu perfect?
Yeah, I will super stop doing. Okay.
Seriously this time.
Shenyang Ngarkat Tam Kongma Nam Ki Tu Su Ni Kong Tu Shepe Gune Nang Pat Tepe Kangsa Ki Krik Chung Se Teni Tam Sikla Kyong Chung Wayin Tuk Che Tam Yamsu Trine
Sine.
Sine Teta La Tron Chi
Yeah. Trongdi.
Trongi Tronchi Sokmi Chepa Yin Su Kyang Sung.
Yeah, our Lama also described Shenyang, moreover, Ngar in the old days, Kadam Koma. What's Koma mean?
The Emperor China. Oh, before. Higher?
Why would he say earlier Kadampas?
Oh, as opposed to those today, like Jason Copper.
Yeah, Jetson Kappa's lineage is considered Kadampa. We're called Kadam Sarpo. We're the new Kadampas. Jetson Kappa's lineage. So now he's talking about the Kadampas of 1,000 years ago, the early Tibetan Buddhists, okay? Kadam Koma Namki Tusu, in those days, okay? Kondushepe Gongne, when people got a really bad case, Nyamba, struck them, Tepa, of this spready disease. Don't read it as MGO, which would mean headache, right? But this catchy disease, as we described it above, Kansaki Rikchung, when those kind of people came up in the community, okay, when somebody got a really bad infectious disease, they would consider him or her Tamsigla Kinchung. Oh, they broke their vows. They wouldn't say this person has cancer, this person has measles, or this person has gallbladder. They'd say this person's a vow breaker, you know, which is kind of heavy, you know. They would say, they wouldn't say this person has cancer. They'd say this person's a vow breaker. And Tam Yan Sutsi, Tam Yam means Tam Sik Nyamba. And Si means consider. It means to count, right? They would consider these people vow breakers. And then Drongji means associate. Tropo Dripa means to stick around. They would refuse to stay around them. which is kind of harsh. Yeah, it's kind of harsh. So someone gets a bad disease in the community, in the Dharma community, and then other people in the community say they wouldn't get this disease unless they broke their vows, and I don't want to be around someone who broke their vows. So they won't stay near them, which is kind of harsh. I don't think he's advising it. I'm just saying the early Kadambas drew a connection between these kinds of diseases and having broken their vows in the past. Okay.
If you feel like maybe things are a little iffy for you, best not to be around someone.
Yeah, that's true too. Sogmi chepa. Mi chepa means they would refuse to associate. Yin so kyang sung. There used to be this custom in the past, Sedar Lama. And the implication is sort of like, the implications are interesting, but I'm not telling you to not associate with your sick friends. Okay, because that's not catchy, right? That's catchy in a different way. Okay. But he's just pointing out that in the old days, if someone got sick, immediately they'd be thinking about what kind of vows did I break? Okay. What kind of vows did I break to end up in the hospital? What it was it? Okay. Okay, go.
Sheja kun la lo tro mong pe tse shak chu pa chula cha pa yi che pa yi lenen sung tra rang la ko wa yin.
Okay. I'm going to leave it because I'm not sure of the Shakti Rupa right now. Let's go see what he says first. Okay.
Shepa ni perna tra sar lop near sok near pa na ang ka tok karma ne sum su ki wandu
Pardu.
partu jin tra shik la tu sam.
It's really tu samche. It's misspelled.
Tu sam che.
Yeah.
Kyan ning na tsik mi sin sen na turn mi
Koa.
kom pui
Pongbu.
pung pu gola kyun
Gyukpa.
gyukpa tang pa
Tangwatar. Kyurpe.
kyurpe lo tru shin tu mong pata.
Yeah, this one's cute. Perna, for example, Chasar. Yeah, here in the monastery. Lobnir, people are trying to study. Lobnir means study, okay? They're Geshe studies. So Chepanang, people trying to study, but Ne Sung means starting from. Ne Sung means starting from. Kadokamar.
Colors red and white.
Yeah, which is the very, very, very first thing among studies in the monastery. Red and white, colors red and white. It's Adam's first page. Okay, so starting from the study of white and red, up to Zu. Yeah, up to the Kosha. Up to the Abhidharma Kosha, which is the whole 30-year course, 25-year course. He's just covered the whole course. Starting with red and white and going up to the last chapters of Abhidharma Kosha. Pardu. Jinda Shigla Tesam Chekyang. Okay, it doesn't make sense to say Sammache, it's wrong. No matter how much I te and some.
No matter how much I listen and...
Yeah, no matter how many classes I go to, and no matter how much I think about it, kyang, nyena, and this is a famous joke in the monastery, say nyena, sigmisin, samna, turn me call. Okay, which is what? Yeah, I listen and I can't hold it anything. I'm like the cup with the broken bottom. I go to class, I can't remember anything. And when I go home to think about it, I don't get the hell what they're talking about. Okay? I sit in class, I don't understand. I go home and I think about it and I fall asleep. So it's like, okay, $50. But it has to be precise word. I'm not taking no $25 answer.
Okay, it's like a donkey's head running on a plane.
You just made 0. I'll give you other guys a clue. Gyukpa is nowadays pronounced Yukpa. Yukpa. Danda. Danda. In Sanskrit, danda. Dandasana.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a stick.
Beating a
Yeah, it's like beating a donkey on the head. He's talking about his experience in the classroom. He's trying to learn the Dharma. It's like somebody beating me on the head with a stick, like beating a donkey on the head with a stick. My experience of Dharma study has been like a donkey getting hit on the head with a stick. Okay. Gautamatar, Kirbe Lodu, my Lodu is Momba.
My intelligence is dull.
Yeah, my intelligence is really stupid. Shinto Momba. Okay. We're overtired? That's such an auspicious place to stop. Okay.
The horse is dead.
By the way, he's going to talk about the karma of not being able to understand scriptures about emptiness and stuff. So this is kind of interesting for us. You'll have to stick around till next class. Yeah, what's the karma if you just can't get it? Okay. I don't know.
What's Tangwa there?
What's what?
Why was the Tangwa there? Gyukpa Tangwa.
Oh, it's a verbalizer for Gyukpa.
Oh, Gyukpa.
Yeah, hitting a donkey on the head with a stick.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sashi
Puki Joshi Meto Cham Riram Lishi Linde Yambani Sangye Shindu Mikte Uwagi Roku Namda Shingna Chupasho Idam Guru Ratnamandala Kamniyatayami
Gewa
Di Gewokun Sanam Yeshe Soso Shi Sanam Yeshe Nechuwe Damba Kuni Topasho Shmogri Dogri.
Okey doke.